And it's a very cloudy day right here in the city of Ikenne. Remo Stadium is the home ground or the host ground for us right here in the 2024-2025 NWFL Premiership Super 6. And the game that we're bringing to you live this morning is the game between Naija Ratels of the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT, and of course that of Edo Queens, the defending champions from the ancient city of Benin. Good morning wherever you're watching this broadcast from, whether you're watching us from the broadcast on YouTube or that on Star Times. We're live this morning and it's match day 3 where we're bringing to you Naija Ratels versus Edo Queens, Naija Amazons versus Naija Ratels, and of course Bayelsa Queens versus Remo Stars. Those are the games that will be coming up later on today. Well, Naija Ratels versus Edo Queens will be the game this morning. Now, this is the league table. After 2 match days prosecuted on this ground, Remo Stars, the home team, are surprisingly leading the log by 6 points after 2 games played, 6-6, and of course followed by Naija Amazons, Bayelsa Queens, and Edo Queens, defending champions, surprisingly 7-time champions in Rivers Angels, both have just a point for themselves. And of course, we have Naija Ratels, who are yet to get a single point this time around. Of course, you can see the fans from the ancient city of Benin, talking about Edo Queens fans here waiting to see whether they can kickstart themselves with a win today, or kickstart our day with a win, of course, as they look to retain the title they won in Yenagua last season, talking about the Benin Arsenal. My name is Joy Ojablusudoifore, and I'm going to be your lead commentary this morning, bringing you proceedings from the Remo Stars ground, and I am paired this morning with the lovely Dorcas Kokai, who is going to be my caller for today. Dorcas, how are you feeling? A wonderful weather we have today.
I mean, wonderful weather. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone listening. It's fantastic to be here to bring, the rest of the updates here at the Remo Star Stadium. It's going to be another feisty day. Edo will be looking to get their first win here, while same as Naija Ratels, because they haven't won any game so far. So it's going to be a clash where these two sides want to make a statement, at least get their first wins, and see where that will take them from here. But lovely weather. This is the kind of weather we want to see the girls play in.
I think we spoke too soon, because already looking as if the sun is coming. I was trying to show out very soon. But yes, before the game will kick start, let's remind you that Edo Queens are defending champions, and after 2 match games played, they can just boast of 1 point after they lost on match day 1 to Remo Stars ladies. And of course, they drew yesterday on this ground to 7-time champions Rivers Angels. And of course, the other team, who are going to be the home team for this fixture, talking about Naija Ratels, are yet to pick up any points in Ikenne, as they lost match they won to Naija Amazons 2-1. It ended in favor of the Solid Babes. And of course, yesterday they lost to the host team, or we call them the home team for the day, talking about Remo Stars ladies, also by a lone goal yesterday. So yes, we're getting set to welcome the ladies who would be starting off today for us. And of course, after this fixture, we'll definitely be bringing you that between Rivers Angels later on today. We're live with the girls proceeding just behind the match commission, and of course the 4 referees who would be deciding or preceding this game today would be of course centered by center referee Omotoye Tosin, Oluwatosin from Osun State. She is going to be our center referee today. And you can see the girls from Abuja in their yellow and green striped jersey and shorts. And of course, the girls from Benin are going to be repeating what they wore yesterday in terms of colors: red jerseys, red shorts, red socks, and a little bit of yellow stripes there. Consider the starting lineup for Naija Ratels. Of course, with 3 changes made to the team that started yesterday in goalkeeping position, especially Faith Omilana is starting today ahead of the person who started on her behalf. So we have Oshe Pauline, we have Sibe Rita, the only person to have scored for them so far in this competition, Nora Davis, and of course the rest of the players that would be prosecuting this game for Naija Ratels this morning would be Adebayo, Ikpai, Adan Nawachuko, Glory, Sunday, Sofiat Bankole, and of course finally Grace Sally. You can see the officials I mentioned earlier on. Omotoye Oluwatosin from Osun State is going to be our center, and of course flagged by other referees including James Njoku and of course Obien, who would be assisting her from the other parts of the pitch. Of course, the away side, the defending champions, would have Ujoma I beg your pardon. We have Akpobaro, we have Husseini, we have Rebecca Adebilemi, we have Titus Happiness Adebi, we have Anja Mary, we have Emen Essien, Ijoke Okeke, Amarachi also starting that one, and of course Goodness Osigwe, and that is 7 changes made to 6 changes, I beg your pardon, made to the starting lineup of Edo Queens, different from what started against, or the ones who started against Rivers Angels yesterday. Now 6 changes is a statement made by the head coach, talking about Mary Adoko, don't you think, Dorcas?
Oh yeah, because we do know how a squad, rich in squad that Edo Queens are, and they have shown that today, looking at how many changes they've made. They have the players and they all know that for sure. So yeah, I think it's going to be a game where they see that. Yes, we can see on our screen right there. Sorry for cutting you short. That's the coach of Naija Ratels, talking about Samson Keshi, or Samson Mawa Keshi, as he's like to be called. He is definitely going to be looking to have a better game, and of course Moses Adoko, who is a non-winner in this competition, having won it with Bielsa in 2022, and of course Edo Queens last season, looking to repeat that feat with the same team he won it with last season, talking about Edo Queens. Not having a brilliant start to their title, that's their title defense, Edo Queens, but they'll be looking to change that particular feat. Remember that they went on to win last season despite just 1 win in all competition or all games played, but they managed to snatch that one in Yenogwa last season. Do you think they'll be able to repeat such a feat in Ikenne, looking at how they've started so far? Well, I really cannot tell. They haven't had the best start to life here in Ikenne, so I cannot exactly tell. But they do have the quality, like we talked about, on the bench and everywhere else. You could see that they have that rich vein of quality, but they haven't exactly shown that to us so far. So I really cannot tell, because it's quite difficult to tell. Remo Stars are the only team to have won 2 games so far this in the Super 6, and the rest of them are still finding it difficult to match up. So for now, it's not exactly explicit to tell who would eventually go home with the title. Well, Edo Queens had got us started this morning, of course, and we're seeing on our screens that the very first foul and set piece will be that for Naija Ratels, taken by the captain of the side, Olubumi Oladeje. And of course, they're still with the ball, Naija Ratels. But Edo Queens, well, that's an Edo Queen goalkeeper with her jersey looking almost similar to that of Naija Ratels. That's Uzoma, who was substituted at halftime yesterday to replace a teammate who we were used to starting. I'm talking about Marufa Ademola, starting for Edo Queens in game 1 and of course game 2 yesterday. But of course, due to some very expensive mistakes from our end, including the one that led to that own goal scored by
Uroko yesterday. She was substituted at halftime, and of course, the coach, talking about Moses Aduko, is trusting Uzoma today to guard the sticks. But Edo Queens are still with the ball, looking to make an early statement in this game against the Whooping Girls. You can ask me of the Super 16. That's in 7 games played since they started participating in the Super 6. They have not won a single game. They've lost all 7 games they've played before today. This is going to be their 8th game in the Super 6. And for Edo Queens, like I mentioned earlier on, last season with 5 games played in the Super 6, they had just 1 win, but somehow managed to get themselves the title. Now Edo Queens are with the ball again, and that is Goodness Osigwe, who came into this competition with 5 goals, starting from the bench in the first 2 games. Today, with everything at stake, Moses Adokwa has decided to trust her to start, and of course, try to get them their first win in this competition. And that's Miracle Sen with the ball. But the referee would signal that that particular ball into the box would be a foul against Omilana in her goal post. A very good cross from Husseini there, but Edo Queens would have to wait for another opportunity from Okeke or the rest of the team to get their first goal. And now that is Naija Ratels with the ball. Captain Olabumi trying to push forward, but the execution is not, I know, as she planned in her head, because I mean she thought she would have done better with that ball right there. And that is Sofiat Bankole, one of the players to look out for in this competition. One of those players who was really instrumental into getting Naija Ratels into the Super 6 against all odds this season.
Well, they really do have players that I said before. Coming into this very competition, they could be players to watch, but here they are struggling. It was Bankole earlier who had a chance. I thought she should have done better, but she opted to take a strike, but it was just too weak and wouldn't trouble at all Ijoma Uzoma, who was in goal for Edo Queens.
Now Edo Queens are back with the ball, but Captain Olabumi Oladeji is there to douse any threat. And that's Sibe Rita, who has made history in this competition as the first player to score for the 2024-2025 edition of this competition. The first player to score for Naija Ratels ever in the Super 6. Remember, we mentioned they've played 7 games so far, 5 in the previous edition. And of course, she scored 1 on match day 1 for them. Now with 2 games played, she's the only goal scorer and looking to help them get another goal right here. But Edo Queens are the one who would miss out on capitalizing on that defensive chance, with Captain Olubumi there to prevent Okeke from capitalizing on that cross into the box. But Edo Queens are still with the ball and would get a throw in. A corner kick this time around, corner taken. And that's a block right there from Naija Ratels, who are putting everybody on the line there to prevent an early goal. I mean, if there's a goal in the 5th or the 6th minute, it would beat the record we have in this competition of them scoring the fastest goal we've had so far, Dorcas, in 13th minutes.
Yeah, that would be the case if that eventually happened. I really thought that that was going to go into the back of the net, because we saw multiple blocks of that very ball. Edo Queens tried as much as possible to hit it into the back of the net. It was really, really close. Well, Naija Ratels did what they had to do, cleared their lines, even if it was crappy, which they did eventually, of course. But Edo Queens will go back, regroup, and try again to see if they can get the earliest goal of this very Super 6.
I mean, bodies, multiple bodies on the line right there to block every attempt at goal that Edo Queens attempted right there. And the goalkeeper for Naija Ratels, talking about Faith Omilano, is on the pitch. Milano is receiving medical attention, and of course she's starting her very first game in this competition. Known face in the NWFL, but this will be her first time starting the game in Ikenne. Of course, she's trusted ahead of Ohia Doris, who was in goal on match day 1 against Nassau Amazons, and of course match day 2 against Remo Stars Ladies. And that's a cross, but that would be an attempted goal, but Milano would safely gather that into her bosom.
That was a good chance.
A very good chance right there, and that is some of the things to expect from a player like Goodness Osigwe. A very, very solid right-footed shot, and that would be another attempted goal for Edo Queens, who will look to start their onslaught early on in this game. And of course, Naija Ratels have been the ones soaking pressure so far.
You know, when you play against some of the best teams, you tend to show the quality that you have. Yeah, the game between Rivers and Edo showed the quality that Edo possesses, and you can see how they troubled Rivers' defense. But here they are again, and it looks like because of how Naija Ratels are approaching the game, it's a little bit scrappy from the Edo end, and we haven't seen the best quality from Goodness Osigwe, who I thought as a substitute yesterday against Rivers was splendid. She was fantastic. She had chances upon chances as well. We haven't even seen Essien so far in this game, and what she did against Rivers yesterday.
Definitely talking about Essien. But before we go on, Edo Queens out with another opportunity to go at goal, but Milano will quickly rush out to get that ball, and that is another opportunity that Edo Queens would not capitalize on. And back to the center circle is Naija Ratels. Some high balls here and there, and been unable to play the ball on the ground whenever they get possession. But now they've regained it. Naija Ratels still with the ball, and that would be Sibe. But Husseini would prevent her from unleashing any form of offensive threats, and to be a free kick right there to Edo Queens. And that's Ikpa Janet, who had for herself a really solid game yesterday against Remo Stars Ladies. But we're still back place back, and Edo Queens are still another opportunity to, and that is Okeke looking to cross the ball to a teammate in red, but she would decide to take it, and that is a poor attempt at goal, and would not really trouble Milano there. And you can see her raising her hands there in apologies, as there were bodies in the box waiting to receive the ball, and even outside the area. I mean, she had the opportunity to turn there, and of course she decided to go at goal. But what can you say about that particular opportunity right there? I mean, the play from Osigwe to find Okeke in that position.
Well, it was a really good spot. I think that was Essien who spotted her. And then Okeke had the ball. The turn wasn't exactly too clean, but she did. She was successful, and I thought that she was going to place the ball into the middle of the park where she had that teammate, but then that wouldn't be it. She opted to go for goal, and it was, I think, a poor attempt, but maybe a good one for that matter as well.
And we have a set piece taken by Sibe Rita, who scored from a direct free kick on match day 1. But that free kick will amount to nothing, and this time Edo Queens are back with the ball, and that's Osigwe. Osigwe have moved past her marker there, but the cross would not get to anyone in the box. But once again, another foul called against Edo Queens.
There's something here that's quite different from what we saw yesterday and when Edo Queens took on Rivers Angels. We saw Imemesian play as a striker at the top 9, while Anjo Mary was dropped back to help the midfield and also create chances. But today, Imemesian is playing in the midfield and letting Okeke as well as Anjo Mary up front.
And of course, you will talk about the tactics that we've seen in this competition. But someone is on the pitch, and the referee has signaled to the medics. That would be jersey number 29, Saliu Grace, who is holding her head in pain. But this team, Naija Ratels, known to field some of the youngest girls in this competition. Some of them who are mainstays in the Flamingos team, the under-17, like Adebayo Jumai. Our team who have seemed to be very relentless in their previous defeats in this competition. The first one against National Amazons, the other one against Remo Stars Ladies. Coming up against solid teams in this competition, but giving it their all. And now it's Sibe who would attempt to score another direct free kick, but this time it is Uzoma in goal. And that she would easily save. I mean, Uzoma is starting in place of Marufa Demola, who had a rather poor game. Edo Queens are also having not the best of starts in this first 15 minutes that we've seen so far, and that was Anjo Mary with a shot just under her boots, and that will roll safely into the hands of Omilano.
It was a good pass from Okeke. It was a little bit of a dummy. Ijemoke trying to find Anjo. Anjo got the ball, but then her right-footed strike isn't just good enough.
Well, a strike not good enough, and Naija Ratels not being able to capitalize on the opportunity to break out on a counter-attack and allow the Edo Queens to quickly get behind the ball, and that forced them to a corner kick right there. And there's a substitution, an early one again from Naija Ratels, like we saw yesterday. This time around, they beat their record of yesterday. It was in the 20th minute. This time it's in the 15th minute, with Oluwatemisope Alayode coming in for Glory Sunday. And I mean, what is going in the mind of Stephen Keshi making this very early subs?
Samson Keshi.
Samson Keshi. Pardon. And that's our attempts at a corner from Sibe. Corner taken. Ratel still with the ball, but dispossessed this time around by Ahmed Essien there. I mean, a substitution in the 20th minute yesterday, another substitution in the 15th minute today. I mean, is it that we should be concerned about the fitness of his girls in this competition, or is there something else that he thinks whenever he makes these early subs in his game so far?
I think they are tactical plans. He must have spotted something. He's the coach. He knows what the game plan is. And if he feels like his players aren't exactly executing that game plan, it's only fair to change. But maybe changing too early might not be the ideal thing, but like I said, he must have spotted something and he said, well, let's go for this change.
Well, that was Sally Grace with an attempt at the net, but of course it's going to be a side netting and a goal off target. But Edo Queens would try to build from the back again. And that would be Osigwe with the ball once more. Osigwe would take it into the area. And there are calls for a handball from the players there, but the referee will signal for them to continue playing.
Let's be fair. I'd rather see MMSN up front trying to act as the attacker than number 9, and I haven't been impressed with Okeke and Mirianjo so far.
With Edo Queens looking for a win today, I mean, they can't afford not to win today. If they are looking to retain their title, you can maybe understand why Moses Odoko has decided to put all of his attacking threats in this game. Okeke, Osigwe, Essien, Anjo, everybody's on the pitch from the very first minute of the game. And after 80 minutes play, it's still 0-0. Naija Ratels 0, Edo Queens 0. And Husseini with the ball. Husseini crosses it into the area. Naija Ratels clear. Not totally, as Edo Queens are still with the ball, but someone is on the field. That is some beautiful play from Edo Queens to keep the ball, but of course that would go for a throw-in to the Benin Arsenal. Throw-in to be taken by Miracle Husseini, rated as one of the best 50 players under 20 in 2024 by Go.com. Some of the firepower in this team, and that is a very good ball for Edo Queens, and that will be the first goal. MNSN mentioned earlier on, the MVP from the last edition, the goal scorer for them for their very first goal in this competition yesterday, and again she is the first Edo Queen player to find the back of the net. MNSN with her 7th goal of the season to open the books for Edo Queens today. And of course, you cannot take anything away from that beautiful piece of play from Edo Queens. And Joe Mary there. Of course, getting the ball to Husseini, who crosses it, and Essien, who is very, very dangerous at defending. At, of course, going at goal. Would go for that one, and it is currently Edo Queens who lead by a goal to nil after 20 minutes of play.
It was a fabulous hold-up play from Mirianjo, finding and connecting with Goodness Osigwe. Osigwe spotted, of course, MMSN in the 18-yard box, free, unmarked, and all she did was send a cross in. It was a little bit difficult for the Ratels ladies to clear, and immediately after that, it was MMSN, the goal scorer, of course, yesterday for Edo Queens as well, to slot that ball kindly past face Omilana, and that will be the first goal of the day as Edo Queens to take the lead.
Essien with her 7th goal of the season, 2nd of this playoffs. And of course, an opportunity for her or any other person to get another goal as Mirianjo takes this corner. But it would go past the head of everybody in the 18, and of course go for a Naija Ratels throw-in.
It's starting to take shape, surely for Edo Queens.
Definitely for Edo Queens, and then you can understand. And that's another opportunity for Edo Queens. Okeke with the ball right now. She would give it to Essien, who would score her brace. That is a brace for Essien. 2 goals in 3 minutes. It is to get our third goal of this playoffs. And now we can start counting. That's ACN right there. 2 goals in 2 minutes. MVP for the last edition, like I mentioned earlier on. And Moses Aduko is pumped. 22 minutes, Edo Queens are leading by 2-0.
2 goals in 2 minutes. That is a fantastic work from Edo Queens. It is a connection for me. I talked about maybe putting MMSN up front to be attacker. And immediately that happened. You could see 2 quick goals from Edo Queens, and they are running that defense of Naija Ratels ragged. That's what we want to see. This is what we want to see. The connection, especially OKK getting that one through to MMSN, tells a lot of story, and how the build-up eventually came. That was what made that goal what it was. And there was a calmness for me when MMSN got the ball, the way she calmed down, spotted where she wanted that ball to go through, and nicely, sent that ball into the back of them with her right foot. That was just ecstasy, like you already described it, and it's exactly what we want to see at this level.
Ecstasy for the Edo Queens, but I'm very, very sure the smear in the minds and faces of Naija Ratels, and they've conceded 2 goals already in the first 23 minutes of this encounter, despite holding their ground in the earlier moments in this game. But they will look to make something out of it, try to get something early also in this game. That's Mosho Paulina, who is starting today. She came as a substitute yesterday in the 20th minute. I mean, she was the first sub we saw yesterday in this game, or in the game yesterday between Remo Stars Ladies and Naija Ratels.
Well, Joy, there isn't any surprises here, because in about 4 matches so far that these 2 sides have played, Naija Ratels haven't beaten Edo Queens yet, so they are still searching for their first victory against Edo Queens. So that's exactly what it is. They have lost, of course, their previous 2 matches in 3 encounters. Their only draw, of course, came in the 3-winner. That was in the 2-all draw at the Samuel Media Stadium. That was in Benin City in the 2021-2022 season. So they are still searching for that very win, their first win against the defending champions, Edo Queens.
Still searching for their very first win against the defending champions. Defending champions showing the stuff of champions here as they started this game on a very bright note, leading by 2-0. And with 6 changes made, Dorcas, you can definitely say that Moses Aduko has been repaid so far with the trust he has put in the girls, in which he's trusted to prosecute this game for him today.
Well, yes, he has faith in his team, and that's what makes them rich. Not just in the quality, but also on the bench. He went into the transfer market, got players that he thought he needed, because if you're going to fight for titles, you would need not just the first 11 to have quality, but those on the bench, when they come in, they should be able to replace and at the same time, do their stuff as it is. So that's what we're seeing here. So that's the trust that a coach can have for his players.
Talking about trust, Edo Queens are once again. But there's another substitution with Oshua, who I mentioned earlier on, off. Second substitution for Naija Ratels in less than 30 minutes of play. And it's Oluwase Anani, I beg your pardon, is coming on for Paulina Oshua in this game. Edo Queens with an opportunity to get another goal, and it's Osigwe who would take that one way off the bar.
A good chance once again. Edo Queens, like I said, have they've come into the game alive. They're looking so brilliant with how they have initially started. So brilliant work from goodness Osigwe. We do know that she's a fantastic player. She showed that against Rivers yesterday, and today, yes, she hasn't exactly had a fun field day, but when she has the ball, when the ball is on her feet, she knows what she wants to do. And once again, it was a ball that I thought she should have done better, and she just raised the ball too high.
Well, she's back with the ball again, and because that would go for another opportunity to press and increase their tally in this game, but that will be stopped by Captain Olubumi Oladeji of Naija Ratels, as Naija Ratels looking to press this time. Cross into the box, but nobody to capitalize on that, and you can see the camera on Saliu Grace.
Was a delayed response from Saliu Grace, who should have attacked that ball. The cross was a perfect delivery, but I thought a reaction to that cross into the area was rather slow. You should be expectant of such crosses that comes in, but Saliu Grace at that point in time, she wasn't expecting. She wasn't exactly communicating with her teammates on that very one. So I think that is on her, as I thought she should have done better. But good play from Naija Ratels for the first time in the first 28 minutes.
First 28 minutes, it's still Edo Queens who lead this encounter by 2-0. Both goals scored by NMSN. Who now have 7 goals this season. And they'll be looking to increase their talent. That is, possession will be back in the hands of Edo Queens. Edo Queens have dominated this game from the very start. Maybe shaky in their deliveries in the first 20 minutes or the first 90 minutes, but so far they've proven to be the stronger side as projected before this game. That's Sadie with the ball. Lost it in that attempt to send it into the middle of the pack. But they're back with it as Naija Ratels are unable to keep possession of that one in a very, very short time.
Ratels haven't exactly had what it takes, because you look at the front line, they have Adana on the left hand side, Adana Wachiko on the left side of the attack, Grace Aliu through the middle, and Ipa Janet coming from the right hand side, but they haven't connected like they should. If they can do that, I'm very sure that they can get something out of this game as well.
Get something out of this game. And they'll look to get their second goal in this competition, talking about Naija Ratels, having scored their first one against National Amazons. And they're going with the ball again, an attempt at crossing it to go past all the Edo Queens players, but I mean, Husseini was right there to guide it into the hands of her goalkeeper,
who hasn't been troubled at all today.
Who has not been troubled at all. I mean, aside from the free kick, direct free kick that Sibe attempted there. Talking about Sibe, she scored 3 goals so far this season, and that loss against National Amazons was the first time that Naija Ratels will be losing a game in which she scored. Now this time around, if they would be getting maximum points, they will have to come back from 2 goals, which look like a very huge task for them to do, don't you believe?
Always a huge task. I don't see them coming back, pulling something off of that magnitude against Edo Queens. Edo Queens are overall the best team in this game, so it's going to be very difficult and unsettling to get to see them. When I mean unsettling, especially for Edo Queens, if Naija Ratels can eventually get themselves back and come back to level things about 2-2 and maybe even snatch that victory off Edo Queens. But for now, it has been a very perfect display, almost flawless from Edo Queens, and I think Musa will be quite impressed whoever his team has done here in the first 34 minutes.
Really impressed, and of course, looking to increase their tally, but this time around they would be all regrouping to defend their lead, as there's a foul called against Edo Queens right there, and maybe an opportunity to trouble Uzoma there. And it's Sibe, who we mentioned earlier on, who got the only goal for them in their first game, who is going to take this set piece again. Can she score from this position? Sibe takes. But that will be too high, too heavy to get to trouble Zoma once more.
Sibi has the potential of becoming a really good, she has the potential, of course, of being a very good set piece taker. She just needs to find the right technique. I think that's the word. Find the right technique to get the delivery properly into the area. If you're going for goal, get the perfect technique. If you want your teammates to connect perfectly with the ball as well, there are techniques that she can also build on. But so far, ever since the first game where she scored from a set piece, it hasn't been exactly like perfect as that was.
And Naija Ratels through Sally Grace, trying to get something there, but the last year ITO Cup finalists would continue to attempt something in the half of Edo Queens as they trail by 2-0 after 37 minutes played in the first half of the first game of match day 3. And the ball is back and almost disastrously let into the post by Omilana, who starts in place of Ohia Doris, who has started the first 2 games for Naija Ratels in this competition. And that would have been disaster compounded for Naija Ratels.
Well, the Ratels are still, like you already said, looking for their first victory here in the Super 6, as they have never won a Super 6 game before
in their history.
Yeah, so that's a huge task, and there is no team here that I think they can get one over, at least in my opinion. But they can still do that. They can still do something. Maybe not today's game. I'm not sure about today's game, but probably in the course of the Super 6, they can actually still do something.
Well, while they try to do something, Edo Queens are back in possession of the ball after a few minutes out, but they'll lose that one again. And Edo Queens, after their very bright starts, are so slowly allowing Naija Ratels to grow into this game. Do you think this will come to punish them in this half?
Well, not.
And that's an opportunity for Sibe Rita.
Oh.
She wanted to score from that place. Okay, that's not Sibe. But I mean, this is something that they have under their sleeves. Talking about Naija Ratels. And Zoma have to be very aware to have not let that particular one go in. But Edo Queens are back with the ball this time around in attack, and it's Osigwe who gets dispossessed. And Naija Ratels are going again forward this time around. Sally Grace. That is Ikpa Joy. Jeanette, beg your pardon. I keep calling her Joy. My surname is not Ikpa, so why do I keep calling her Ikpa Joy? So Jeanette and her teammates will have to regroup as Edo Queens are going forward again, this time at the center circle. But Omilano would safely gather that particular one.
Well, I can't really get over that beautiful strike earlier on that might have just brought Naija Ratels into this game, only if it would have been executed properly, because you're looking at Oluwa Tope Alayande, who actually struck that ball, but then it came off. Ijoma had to do a fantastic work to ensure that that ball doesn't go into the back of the net. But what a rocket that was.
A rocket that was. Would have been one of the goals of this tournament had it gone in.
You see the tactics now. The coach earlier took out Glory Sunday and brought in Oluwatope Alayande. And then she came, look at that shot that she had.
Yes.
So they seem to know exactly what they want, because she is rather good going forward, and that's exactly why that one would have stood a chance when it comes to a fantastic goal scored.
Now, jersey number 21 would receive the first yellow of this game, Sofiat Bankole, after that pull of a shirt. And of course, that foul will amount to nothing for Edo Queens. But they will regroup this time around to go forward again. That's Hussein with the ball. Hussein is dispossessed, but referee will allow play to continue. Edo Queens looking to get back possession. Naija Ratels lost it once more, but a very solid play from them would ensure that they have another corner kick. Edo Queens. Wondering who takes this one, because that is an Anjo. Okay, she's going there now. That used to be an Anjo job. And Anjo was waiting in the area for someone to play, maybe trying to get her first goal of this tournament, and a third for Edo Queens. Is joining them mid-season, but I mean, she's been given the task to go play the corner, and she is heading right there. Mary Anjo, one of the most experienced players in this Edo team, Queens team. Anjo Mary takes and comes off the boots of Osigwe there. Well, Edo Queens are back with possession quickly lost, and somehow Naija Ratels, they allowed the ball to go up for a throw-in, quickly taken by Usaini Miracle. The ball is back in possession of Naija Ratels, who would look to go forward and crosses the ball. And that's with Saliu Grace, who makes a very potent but ineffective attempt at goal, but it stops calmly by Uzoma.
Well, it's starting to click. Something is starting to click for Naija Ratels. That was also a good display from Adana Machiko, trying to find, of course, a teammate in that area, Genetikba, and who also then in turn found Saliu Grace, who had to take a strike, but it wasn't the perfect one for her, because it went directly into the safe embrace of Ijoma Uzoma, the goalkeeper for Edo Queens. And Edo Queens will try again to see if they can get on a clock goal just before the halftime mark.
Just a minute within the area. That is a very
weak ball,
but yes, trouble the goalkeeper, and a very fast response from her to prevent Osigwe from getting her first goal in this playoffs. Faith Omilana, been unlucky twice, wants to be unlucky the third time. And Osigwe there, not the best of strikes from her again, but I mean, good enough to trouble the goalkeeper and force a corner, which they would take. Talking about Edo Queens. And Mafishere takes that one, but is way over the head of everybody within the 18, and that will go for a goal kick. And we are officially done with the regular time, and 2 minutes will be added by the assistant referee there. And attempts a goal again. Osigwe still knocking and looking for her first goal in this playoffs. And once again, it's stopped by Faith Omilano.
That was once again Imi Messian. She had the ball, took a snap strike at it, sent it to the goalkeeper, who was like yesterday against River, spilled. Imi Messian was again going for it. But then the goalkeeper said, no, I wouldn't be like Mbichi yesterday, and all she did was come out collected, even if it was crappy. But she got the job done.
Got the job done, but Naija Ratels will be looking to loot this half with something. But that is going to go out for a goal kick, and a timely intervention from Marvelous Akpobaro there to force the error from Naija Ratels, and of course force that to go into the hands of Uzoma for a goal kick. Naija Ratels still again with the ball and attempts to get something. Still with the ball, Naija Ratels looking to take the shots there, but she gets rewarded with a free kick there.
Adana's been in trouble.
Adana Wachuku would force a free kick in a very juicy position for someone like Sibe Rita. Of course, you can see that players like Sibe are all coming around the ball. The referee is trying to ensure that there is a proper wall there, and the players are standing behind the wall. Zoma trusted to stay between the sticks today, ahead of Morufa Ademola. Sibe over it, Bankole Sali over it, Sofiat over it to take and pull one back in this half for Naija Ratels.
This is way close, so let's see what Sibe can do.
Well, to be taken by Sibe, and that would be the final point of action for us in this first half. A brilliant first half from Moses Aduko's side. A brilliant assist right there for KK. You can see the goal scorer, Emen Essien, with a brace, walking into the tunnel, of course, after pleasant with her teammates. Milana not having the best of games to kickstart her playoffs. It's Edo Queens who are flying after the very first 45 in this competition today, the very first game of today's proceedings. And of course, it's ecstasy for the Benin fans in Ikenne. It's been a brilliant display from Edo Queens, and halftime it's Naija Ratels 0, Edo Queens 2 in Ikenne. And of course, it has been a very fantastic. It's been a very fantastic day in Ikenne for Edo Queens as they came in for match day 3, and we can see the highlights as they came into the ground of the Remo Star Stadium here in Ikenne. And of course, kick-started the game. Edo Queens looking for their very first win in the Super 6 with the aim of retaining the title they won in Yenobua last season. And that was the first opportunity at goal. Came begging, but of course, that would be a set piece not capitalized on by Okeke right there. And that would be another opportunity come begging for Edo Queens this time around from Goodness Osigwe, having scored 5 goals this season, looking for assists, but that will be safely gathered into the arms of Faith Milano. And this is the opportunity in which Edo Queens, with a dummy right there, across into the box, and of course capitalized right there for the first goal by MVP for last season, Ikenne, to get the very first goal. Beautiful display from the Edo Stars team. Beautiful build-up, a good hold-up play from Anjo, who crosses the ball, and of course the spill from the defense gets them the first goal. And another mishap right there from Naija Ratels, and Essien with the second goal. A brilliant assist right there from Ijomo KK, and Essien getting her third goal of this playoffs. Let's see that brilliant assist right there, and slotting it into the back of the net is Essien for her brace today, and her third of the first game. Of course, it's 2-0 the lead in this game. Halftime, it's 0 to Naija Ratels, 2 to Edo Queens.
Friday. When is the 17th? Okay, that's Friday.
17th.
Yes.
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. Sushi, wait a minute. Yes, sir. See you next 2 minutes.
And we're back for another exciting 45 after what we witnessed in the first half of this game. If you're just joining us, this is the match day commentary for the game between Naija Ratels of Abuja and Edo Queens of Benin. Scoreline so far, it's been the girls from Benin, the Benin Arsenal, who have shot twice through NMSN to ensure that they lead in this game. And of course, we've had really spectacular moments in this game. And it is the Benin Arsenal, like I mentioned earlier on, Edo Queens, who have had the better of Naija Ratels after the first 45 minutes. And you can see the girls warming up and getting set for the second 45. A very strong start to their third game today, the 13th day in the month of May 2025, after a poor start to their title defense. I mean, it's been a very good way to start, and of course a very good response from Moses Aduko, the coach of the side, who made sure that he changed 6 players, different from those who faced defending champion or former champions, I beg your pardon, Rivers Angels yesterday in their match day 2 fixture. And it's Naija Ratels led by Samson Keshi, who are at the receiving end of their onslaught so far. And we can see Uzoma, one of the players in that 6 changes I mentioned earlier on, who have stayed strong in between the sticks and of course prevented any sort of changes to the goal score or the score line we've had from the first half. And you can see the coach of the side, Moses Aduko, winner with Edo Queens in 2023-2024, winner with Biosa Queens in 2021-2022. He knows how to win, and I mean, looking to win it here at the Remo Stadium in Ikenne with Edo Queens once more. And this time around, it will be Naija Ratels who will set us up and set us rolling in this half. Center referee with signals for start, and we're back to of course it is Naija Ratels 0, Edo Queens 2, and it is going to be a goal kick for Edo Queens after an offside call against Naija Ratels, looking to start the attempt at the comeback very early in this half. Dorcas.
Well, yes, that's the only thing that they can do. Try to start the comeback as early as, and when you can, get an early goal to stretch things even further for Edo Queens. If they can do that, then they could gradually pull themselves back into this game that Edo Queens have already blown them away from.
Well, Edo Queens have had not much to worry about from Naija Ratels in this game. And that would be a set piece taken from the half yard or the center of the pitch. Well defended by Naija Ratels there. But Edo Queens are still in possession of the ball, and of course attempts to go forward once more. That is going to be back in possession for Edo Queens. Now Naija Ratels have made 2 substitutions in this game. Early substitution, if you ask me, the first one coming in the 15th minute, where Pauline Alshaw was taken off and replaced by Oluwaseun Anini. And of course, the second substitution saw Glory Sunday taken off and replaced by Tokpe Alayode in response to what the result looks like right now. Of course, in 7 defeats out of 7 games played before today, Naija Ratels are looking to avoid 8 consecutive defeats in a Super 6 game, having won none ever in their history. This might look like another one in which they would count 0 wins. Because we've seen players like Osigwe for Edo Queens get chances in the first half, but so far Edo Queens are yet to get any clear-cut chance in the second half. But they'll continue to press, and Osigwe somehow would not chase that ball. But they're back with the ball, and NM is with it right now. Looked like an infringement there against Hussein Miracle, but the referee would rather, at the next point of play, give the free kick to Naija Ratels. Naija Ratels pressing forward now with Sibe Rita. Rita takes the ball. And Janet is the one still holding possession for Naija Ratels, but quickly dispossessed. But they get it back again through a throw-in. And like I mentioned earlier on, Edo Queens have not been able to go as forward as they've done in the first half.
Oh.
And Naija Ratels have passed their first mark. First mark there, first player there. But early intervention right there from the Edo Queens defense showed that that would not land on the foot of a Naija Ratels player for an attempt to pull one back in this game.
Saliu Grace was just looking around in the 18-yard box, waiting for that cross to come in. Unfortunately, didn't get to her, and Edo Queens will clear their lines as cleanly as possible. But it is the fact that they've grown at least in the first couple of seconds or minutes into the into the second half. I cannot exactly envisage what Coach Samson Keshi must have told his girls in the dressing room, but they came out flying, and this is exactly the attitude that they should have. Get the right passes, get the right crosses into the area, and find Grace Aliyu, score goals, and probably you can win this one, or even ending this game in a draw.
Looking at end this game in a draw, like I said, they are looking to avoid 8 consecutive defeats in 8 games played in the Super 6. The third one in this edition, playing currently in Ikenne. Their goalkeeper, Fitz Milano, who got the nod ahead of the person who started the first 2 games, Ohia Doris, would send that one into the area. Naija Ratels still with the ball, still doing the early play in this half.
There's a confidence for me.
Confidence for them. But unable to finish it in the final third. And that will be an attempt by Captain Olubumi there. And that would be a goal kick. Uzoma will take that. And Jomo KK would try to keep possession for the likes of Husseini, who has the ball currently. Husseini would get that ball, but Edo Queens have managed to gain and lose possession in the last 5 seconds, but they are up again. And a low shot into the area by goal scorer NMSN Osigwe.
It is how effortless she uses both her feet, left and right. And she's quite efficient using both of them. This time it was a right-footed strike. It just wasn't accurate towards goal. Didn't exactly trouble Faisal Milana. And once again, what a brilliant one from Goodness Osigwe. Yet to get a goal here, yes, but she's been very effective on the flanks for Edo Queens.
Really effective, and I mean, she came into this competition in Ikenne as the leading goal scorer for Edo Queens with 5 goals. Started the first 2 games on the bench. Was given the nod by Moses Adokwo to start today, and she is still searching for her first goal in these playoffs. While the person who was right behind her in NMSN has scored 3 goals already in this competition.
A brace, fantastic brace for her today.
Fantastic brace today, and opened the score of the game yesterday against Raiders Angels. And of course, she is poised to get in a brace, and gets not her very first brace in this competition.
We had to see a hat-trick though, but we saw a couple of hat-tricks in the regular season.
Yes.
Here we are waiting for that very hat-trick to come.
Still waiting for our first hat-trick.
Some would say hat-trick did not take you to heaven, just to win your games.
Talking about hat-tricks, one of those players who scored regular hat-tricks in the regular season, Barry Moses, with 2 hat-tricks in the regular season, is yet to find the back of the net in the Super 6, and is one of the players who is racing to win the top scorers award, yet to score a goal, with the likes of Olamide Bolajo of Remo Stars Ladies, who is the outright leader of that lot there with 15 goals, scoring yesterday. Of course, we had Janet Akekoromowe getting goals on day 1 and day 2 to increase our tally to 11. And of course, 2 of them right now above Mary Moses of Edo Queens. But somehow, players like Essien are locking behind. With 7 goals already, she has an opportunity to leapfrog players like Mary Moses. But before then, Edo Queens would have to do some very interesting defending there.
Yeah, because Naija Ratels are getting closer and closer in the second half.
Getting close and relentless. But Edo Queens have managed to clear their lines and plays back in possession of Naija Ratels. Yeah, Sophia Bankole there, who has scored 4 goals for Naija Ratels this season. Very instrumental goals, if you ask me. One of those was the goals. Some of those goals are the goals that got winners for them against teams like Benue Queens and FC Robo. But now Edo Queens look to press forward, and of course Okeke was there looking to see if she can get that ball, and of course get maybe to attempt for the 3rd for them in this game, and add a goal to our involvement already for an assist, in which she got for that 2nd goal, in which SCN will score. Well, Sigwe is with the ball right now.
Sigwe is a fantastic player.
Fantastic player, with ability to hold up play there. And of course, Wood gets Edo Queens a throw in very close to the box there. And Hussein Miracle take that one. But we're having play pause right now as for the second time in this game, Faith Milano is holding her ties in complaints and is getting the medics to attend to her there. But how has she shown up in this game, saying that she got the nod ahead of Odia Glorious, who was used to in this competition in Ikenne Dockers?
She played a couple of games in the regular season as Faith Milano. We know that she can be a good goalkeeper in her day. She was quite influential for Naija Ratels during the regular season, but it was Ohia Doris who got the nod over her in the Super 6, and today she's starting. She seems to be nursing something and struggling with whatever troubles, a thigh or hip or whatever she's going through. And maybe that's why Coach Samson Mawa or Keshi, you want to say, haven't exactly played her, but today she has not had a fantastic game, you would say, because she's considered 2 goals already.
Well, that's it again. Edo Queens trying to force a 3rd goal for Omilano, who Dorcas was just talking about there. But Omilano would not be stopped by that particular cross into the box. And they would try to build again. Naija Ratels have had a really solid start to the second half. But that will be a throw-in as Siberita, not Sibe, Ipa Janet is unable to keep that one in for Naija Ratels. And the Saini, of course, okay, Mafi Shere, the captain of the side. Mafi Shere is not starting. Standing captain today is Amarachi. Well, Hussein is captaining the side today. That's interesting.
Well, if Mafi Shere is not starting, then Miracle Seni has the handband, so she's been quite effective in the first 45 and now in the second.
A lead that's below 20, and that's another opportunity for Edo Queens with Okeke looking to hold up play right there, but quickly dispossessed by Naija Ratels, who are pressing forward, charged to push for their own goal in this game. And the referee will call for infringement there as Adebi is fouled in that misplay. And we've seen Adebi really efficient for Edo Queens, especially in the final third. But once more, we have someone on the field, and this time around is jersey number 28, who came on as a substitute. Oluwatope Lion, who is reacting to pain in her thigh and is leaping out. Now, Edo Queens with an opportunity, but that would be putted out by Captain Olubumi for throwing for Edo Queens.
Olubumi has tried to do her very best in defense. Or when you have attacking threats like Edo does, it's going to be quite difficult.
Play on by the referee. And Omilano could not keep that one out as Sigwe attempts to cross it again into the 18th but that would be forced for a throw in for Edo Queens. And of course, players like Olubimi would be forced to make a defensive. Well, Edo Queens are back with the ball, and that is an opportunity for Edo Queens, begging with goal scorer Essien attempting to make what will be a bicycle kick there, but the ball would roll out for a Naija Ratels throw in, as they've been able to clear their lines. But there's a substitution there with just number 14 going in for Naija Ratels, and of course Alayonde, the player who was substituted earlier on, taking off, and Obadu making another substitute appearance in this competition. And this time around, she's coming in for Tokwe Alayonde, who with that knock would be playing our final minutes in today's game. We have someone that is a very, very dangerous hit at the ankle of Rebecca, but she's up now, still limping, but play will continue, and Rocco Valentina will take goal kick for Edo Queens. Goal kick taken. Once again, Naija Ratels are back with the possession. Quickly dispossessed. Edo Queens are trying to calm the ball right now and try to slowly build their offense. Send the ball back to the center circle. Edo Queens still with the ball. Attempts, which is definitely going to be flagged offside. It is, and Omilano will get a free kick, a goal kick. Well, it's a free kick in the area for Naija Ratels, who are still losing by 2 goals. It's Naija Ratels 0, Edo Queens 2 after 65 minutes of play. In the very first game of match day 3 proceedings, both goals, we told you, scored earlier on in the first half, in the 20th minute and the 22nd minute by Essien. Zoma still with the ball. And Edo Queens are getting another opportunity to triple their lead. But that was a push, maybe a necessary push right there.
A good shove. A good shove.
Yes.
Timely for that matter.
That was a very beautiful display right there for Okeke, who looks to try to give another assist to Essien, who was waiting or was shoved early on to prevent her to attempt that shot at goal, which would have maybe gotten a hat-trick today, but that remains to be seen.
For Jemaya Adebayo's timely show, but just the right thing to do at that point in time, or else if Essien had gotten that ball, like he already said, a hat-trick might just be in the card, or might just have been what we would have seen right about now with Edo Queen celebrating that. But timely intervention from Jemaya Adebayo prevented Naija Ratels from conceding yet another goal in the second 45 minutes.
Jemaya Adebayo timely intervention there, and of course you understand why she's a mainstay in the Flamingos team that went for the waffle, prosecuted the World Cup qualifiers, and have now qualified for the next Under-17 World Cup, Women's Under-17 World Cup. And yes, Edo Queens are back with another opportunity to counter, and the Sigwe And this time around, it is Amarachi who got ahead to that. And that will go out for a goal kick for Ratels, who have now continued play. Back in possession for them. Still in possession of the ball, Naija Ratels. Can they do anything there? And that will be a shot at goal.
Oh.
A shot saved timely by Ifeoma Uzoma there. And Nwachukwu Wad had a fantastic start to the second half. And of course, saw glimpses of how in the first half too. Would force a shot, of course, force a save from Uzoma there. Sibe will take that corner. Sibe, the trusted set piece taker for Naija Ratels, takes it. And
Oh my world.
looking to
Oh,
take a shot there, Saliu Grace.
that was disappointing.
Disappointing. But that's Ikba Janet, who had an opportunity to take the first shot there, but she decided to take a turn before taking the shot, and it will amount to nothing. And Edo Queens would snap play for us, and the referee has stopped play. And it's warning Ifeoma Uzoma, something that looks like a delay.
Yeah, the referee actually did tell her, if you read her lips, she said,
Yeah,
last
warning
warning. Yeah, last warning.
Warning? I saw warning.
I
That
did.
was clear.
Before she turned, she was like, last warning, last warning. So now, Ijeoma Uzoma has to be rather careful with not delaying too much time, or else she's going to go straight into the referee book.
Of course, Omotoye Oluwatosin is our center referee today. And so far, I think we just had one yellow. The yellow given to Sofiat Bankwale for Naija Ratels. Well, Naija Ratels still looking to press there. And back in possession, but that will be stopped timely from Edo Queens. But Edo Queens will still have to that is a dangerous foul right there. And that will be called against Sadiat Adebi. And of course, Sibe called right in to take the set piece. Edo Queens made to defend another set piece in the second half. And she takes it. That is headed out. And made to go for a throw in. Throw in to be taken again by Siberita, who crosses it into the area. And no yellow shirt was able to connect with that. But they're still with the ball. Lost possession now, and looks like Edo Queens will take it out from there as they go forward with this ball right now. A cross right there, but a very poor cross from Marian Jaw, not connecting it rightly with any player, as she had different players in the red jersey waiting for the ball. KK there, Essien there, Osigwe there, but all would have to regroup for another sequence of play as the ball is back in possession to Naija Ratels, who have managed to keep possession but have lost it, and Osigwe Okeke gets the ball, sends it to the right-hand flank, and Edo Queens will look to press that ball right there, and attempt by Essien for her hat-trick, rightfully blocked there, and Wachiko is the one who stood in between Essien and her hat-trick to make a strong, tall wall. The ball is back in possession for Naija Ratels, who are still looking for another goal in this competition, and they are first in this game. And the ball is back in the hands of Uzoma Ifoma. And play continues. Of course, play is paused as we have a change with Osigwe playing our final minutes there. Mahmoudou coming in for Osigwe. And of course, she's been hurried off by Temitokbe Motoye. Mahmoudou is in, making another substitute appearance in this competition after coming off the bench yesterday against Rivers Angels. Players continue. The Sigwe still looking for another goal, or our first goal in this playoffs, and still having 5 goals this season. Throwing back Akpabaro, but possession is back in the hands of Naija Ratels with a tackle there. Naija Ratels with some attempts to go forward there. Have one of theirs on the pitch. Sally Grace is a player whose boots came off in that attempt to bring down the ball, and of course she's wincing in pain and getting attention there from the medics. And with 4 changes made in this game by Naija Ratels, 2 already in the first half, 2 in the second half, it is going to be some headache for Samson Keshi, coach of Naija Ratels, if he would have to take off. Yeah, you can see him right there. Really, really agitated and pissed, and of course he is getting a yellow card for his it's changed to a red right now, as the referee will be having none of that, and she sends him into the tunnel. And it's been one really, really interesting Super 6 for Samson Keshi, who yesterday in his post-match conference was definitely not having what the referee of the day in his game against Remo Stars Davis put out. But today he would go one step further to get himself a red card, as his girls still trail this game by 2-0. And that will be the second time that the referee will be going into the books. First being a yellow card for Sofiat Bankole in the first half, and this time around our coach does one better. gets a red card. Now, player is on the pitch. Our goal scorer for the day, Ikenne, is calling for the medics. She's holding her chest there. Looks to have gotten something into a wrong pipe and spitting it out. Very, very solid performance from her in this game today. And we can see the other coach who is still on the field, or who is still on the sidelines, also shouting instructions to his girls to keep their head focused in the game. And there's another player down this time around. It is Faith Milano once more, who is complaining. And I mean, I'm looking at whether she would be able to finish this game. She's taking off her socks. Like I said, with 4 changes made in this game already, and with the 3 windows, I think, already utilized by Samson Keshi before he was sent into the tunnel by the referee. The referee is going to the bench to go talk to the bench of the referee has signaled to the players to play, obviously, as we're still attending, or still getting to see medics attend to Faith Milano, who is down on the pitch again. And Ikenne is still down on the cuff after receiving treatment earlier on. Waiting to see if Ikenne would continue this game. I mean, this is a half in which we've seen a lot of stoppages due to medical reasons. And this time around it's Ikenne and Milano. Now, looking at Milano's reason to stop this game once more, and Stephen Keshi before, or Samson Keshi, beg your pardon, before being sent off in this game, had made all the changes he can make in the 3 windows, made 2 in the first half, and of course was forced to make another one, the final one being that of Alayode, who was injured and had to bring in Azizat Obadu. But she will be forced to continue, because if she doesn't continue, be forced to have 10 players on the pitch, and of course 1 on-field player would have to wear the gloves. Faith to have faith in herself to continue this game. Players now resume with Mary on Jaw. Standing over that set piece there. Set piece taken. 7 minutes left to be played in this game in regulation time. Edo going to be looking to increase their tally.
I think Edo Queens have already gotten the job done today. A win is a win. 2-0 is emphatic enough against the Naija Ratels. So maybe extra one more goal would just solidify things, because you can never be too sure or too careful. But I think the job is already done here between these two, as Edo Queens lead Naija Ratels by 2 goals to 0.
Well, our goal scorer is okay. She was off for a couple of minutes, and she has been certified to continue by her coach, Moses Adoku. And of course, she's back on the pitch to see off the remainder minutes in this regulation time, maybe. Naija Ratels will have to play without their coach, who was sent off some minutes ago for his altercation with the referee at the sidelines. And after the first warning, it was a yellow. The referee had to change it to a red as he continued to be really verbal. And of course, the referee would have none of that.
Well, Samson Gashi is not new to being really rattled on the touchline. I remember when he was in Port Harcourt, when he played against Rivers in Port Harcourt, he was also like that. He was shown a yellow card that very game, because he was also exchanging words with fans as well who were in the stands. So I wasn't surprised at all when I saw the referee bringing out a red card for Samson Gashi. For Naija Ratels, they seem to be, they haven't exactly connected in the final third to be able to at least put one back. If they had done that earlier, it would have given them a certain momentum and determination going into this game. But unfortunately, their crosses into the box, it's not really that clear.
Well, after 8 minutes, 5 minutes of play, Naija Ratels 0, Edo Queens 2. Goal scored in the first half by NMSN. And Edo Queens want to go forward. And they still have the ball. And this time around would be dispossessed there. And we have another stop for changes with jersey number 25 going out. Talking about Ijoma Okeke, and coming on is Olani Peku, Adenike, and Balogun Teslimat would be replacing Mary Anjo, who has played her last minutes in this game.
Mary Anjo hasn't scored a goal, yes, but she's been very fantastic when it comes to aiding the team and creating chances for the team as well. The goal will come, I'm quite certain, but that's because she's not playing as a 9-9, an outright 9. She's more of like a hold-up player, a creator, and to assist. That's what she's been doing so far in the Super 6.
And so far, with no goal yet, she's been really phenomenal too. The goals that have been scored by her teammates, talking about SCN in this competition. She has 2 goals for Edo Queens since joining them. Talking about Anjo since joining them mid-season. And if she's not going to score goals, she would help ensure that they go on to win important games like this one today. That is a very, very dangerous stamp on the foot of
Miracle Usani,
the captain of the day, Miracle Usani. And that will be a free kick for Edo Queens.
I said abandoning the corporates in that very one. And the Queens are doing all that they can to see what they can do to at least make it 3 goals today, because that would be like the highest goal. Or even now, 2-0 is like the highest goal will be seen by a team. The other was Naija Ratels defeating Amazon defeating Naija Ratels by 2-1.
It's a 1-goal margin.
Yeah.
So this will be like the first 2-goal margin win we'll see in this competition. And of course, it's substitution number 4 for Edo Queens, and the goal scorer will not be getting a hat-trick today, as NMSN is off, and Vincent Eziani will be replacing her, and the Braves will do for today. And that is a chance that was not capitalized by Edo Queens. Well, SCN with 3 goals in this competition so far would be leading the goal scorers log in this playoffs, but of course in total, Olamide Bolaji of Remo Stars Ladies stopping with 15 goals. SCN in total, when you combine what she's scored in the playoffs and of course in the regular season, has 7 goals to her name. St. Sally Grace, one of the young lads in this team, which a lot of people would like to remind us are the youngest team in the Super 6 competition, and are yet to see a win. And today might not just be their day once more, as we are 10 seconds off the end of the first 90. And Edo Queens are looking at getting their very first win of this competition at the expense of Naija Ratels. Another time has been confirmed with 3 minutes added by the assistant referee there. Edo Queens on the 13th day in May 2025 are looking to hold on to their lead, 2-goal lead, and of course finish this one and get maximum points. Now Ifa Jonet with the ball, opportunity for Ratels to strike the ball there and force a save.
That's the best sequence.
A best sequence of play from them in this second half.
The entire game, don't you think?
Well, they came into the second half looking like inside determined to get something out of the game.
Yes.
But that would be the goal counted as a goal on target for Naija Ratels, who would force a corner. Zoma save it there. Corner taken. Corner cleared. But play still remains with Naija Ratels. We want to cross the ball into the area and safely into the arms of Koma Uzoma. Solid game she had as compared to her counterparts Ade Mola Morufa, who yesterday was very questionable in her first half performance against Rivers Angels, Dockers.
Yes, it was. It's a solid performance today for Ijoma, who had to come in place, and Morufa, who you would say also had a solid performance, unlike her counterpart from Rivers, Adeline Michi.
Well, she also had a terrible game against our substituted mid-game, talking about Morufa yesterday.
Yeah, and the coach thought, well, it's better to take her off and bring in Ijoma Uzoma, who is playing fantastically well today. It hasn't been even perturbed at all, not with the chances created by Naija Ratels so far.
Not disturbed by Naija Ratels, and of course it's 30 minutes or 30 seconds, give or take, away from getting a clean sheet for herself in this competition. Edo Queens would clear that one, but will result in a throw-in for Naija Ratels, who are still pressing to get a consolation goal in this game. Can they do that? That ball still unable to clear totally by Edo Queens. Maybe they've done that now. Well, they've done. And the referee has signaled for the final play. And of course, Edo Queens, defending champions, have finally gotten themselves a win in Ikenne. Naija Ratels officially have secured themselves a third consecutive loss in this competition. And the 8th in the playoffs. Captain Miracle doing a miracle with our team today, getting them the first win in their title defense campaign after 3 games played. Edo Queens, the Benin Arsenal, are victorious today, and it's joy, ecstasy in the ancient city of Benin. It's been a very trying start for them in Ikenne, but today they can walk with their heads up high. And Mel says Aduko, the coach of the side, you can see him coming out to congratulate his girls on a solid performance, a solid display right there. Of course, and them getting their first win in this competition. And Naija Ratels, with 2 games left in this competition for them to play, would be disappointed with their display today against the defending champions. Players like Sibe, who have scored their only goal, looking dejected as they walk into the tunnel. And at full time, it's definitely Naija Ratels 0, Edo Queens 2. And of course, it was a brilliant game for Edo Queens in this particular first match of today's proceedings, match day 3. And it was Edo Queens who started this game today. And in the first half, kick off the game with a brilliant performance. In the second half, right there, with Saini crossing the ball and of course forcing a save from Omilano, and that was an attempt by Ratels that ended up in a dangerous tackle. Play will continue. Naija Ratels with an opportunity to get one back in the game, but Uzoma would be there in time to prevent that goal from going in. And of course, Wachuku with the attempt, another attempt at goal, stopped again by Uzoma there, and it's Azizat Obadu in the 91st minute of the game who would force another save off Uzoma in the game, and ensure that Edo Queens will leave this game with their clean sheet intact. And full time, the referee signaled after that particular sequence of play. And full time, Naija Ratels 0, Edo Queens 2. It's full time again. Naija Ratels, Edo Queens 2. Goal scored by NM Essien.